Hello guys, Dan Wood here, back again with David Pleasance for another update video on the Commodore The Inside Story Kickstarter. And now we've just got 11 days to go, David.
Yeah, isn't it fantastic? The time's flying by, but more incredibly, what a fantastic total we've achieved so far. Unbelievable.
Yeah, 38,000 at the time of recording this, and that means obviously we've hit the stretch goal that we mentioned in last week's video, so you are going to be signing the books now.
Yeah, I've got a very big job ahead of me now. I've got to sign every one of in excess of 1,000 books. So it's going to take quite a few days, I suspect.
Good exercise though.
Well, I hope that by the time I've finished, that the signature has been reasonably consistent.
So I thought in this video it would be good just to go through a few of the questions that people have been asking over the last week or so, and just kind of reaffirm where we're at and give a bit of clarification on a few questions people have got. So a couple of people have been asking about the ebook that we mentioned, and if there's going to be images included on the ebooks.
Yes, as I understand it, our intention is that we will do two, maybe even three different formats of ebook. And our intention is that if your machine can support images, then we will have an ebook that will match your machine. That is our plan. I don't believe that there's any reason why we can't do that.
Now, we did mention last week that we are going to be offering an audio book option as well. A few people have maybe already made pledges and are asking how they can add that on.
Yeah, very simply, just it's an additional £10. There's no shipping cost involved because it's obviously going to be downloadable. So just either go back into their original pledge and add an additional £10, or they can just do a separate pledge entirely, because it'll all be registered there, and yes, they'll be able to obtain it that way.
And some people have made pledges for the hardcover version of the book and want to know if that includes the ebook. If not, how they can get that as well.
It is a separate thing. The hardcover book is a £30 pledge plus postage, and if they want the ebook as well, then that's an additional amount. Again, they need to, but that is there as a pledge. As the hard book and the ebook, it's a separate pledge already there. So just go into that, or they can just add in an additional one, as I've just mentioned.
And there is going to be, we have a little bit of a tidy up of the options and that by the weekend as well, aren't we? So,
yeah, what I'm planning to do is that we're recording this video. It's currently Thursday early evening. By Friday, we should have tidied up the Kickstarter with all of the options, more clarification, and I apologize for that. Again, it's down to me, never having done this before. I am a newbie. Please forgive me. My heart's in the right place, and I will do the best I can to make it as obvious what you need to do. Hopefully that'll all be done by Friday, sort of say 6 o'clock Friday evening, with luck.
Now, some people have been asking who's involved in the layout and design of the book. Who's going to be doing that?
Well, I must say, first of all, that I am getting an immense amount of incredible help from Chris Wilkins, who many people will know has done lots of Kickstarters, lots of books in the retro scene, lots of Commodore stuff. He's given me lots and lots of help, and I'm eternally grateful. But he is actually finishing off his Amiga book currently, which he's hoping to have finished, I think, within the next 3 or 4 weeks. So he's really up to his eyes in that. So I've actually got somebody else doing the layout for me, somebody who's probably new to everybody here. It's a gentleman called Simon Busby, who is a professional at doing book layouts and that kind of thing, although he currently works in the legal profession. Which I think, between you and me and the gatepost, I think he's quite bored with that, which I think would be fairly understandable. So he's a very big retro fan, a big Amiga fan. So anyway, he's doing the layout for me, and I'm sure that everybody's going to love it.
Yeah, I can vouch for Simon. Very talented guy as well. I've seen some of his layouts in the past, so we know the book will look amazing. I mean, we have got the cover, obviously, on the Kickstarter at the moment, but that is just kind of a mock-up, isn't it? It's not actually the finished product.
Yeah, I think I should make that clear to everybody. Well, again, one of Chris's friends has very kindly did the mock-up of the book. I do believe it will look rather different to that. I want it to look, very, very professional and upmarket, and good looking. So it almost certainly will not have my picture on the cover. I think that's a promise I can definitely keep. But I'm certain that what we end up with, people will not be disappointed with, because at the end of the day, this is something I really want to leave as a legacy, and I want to be very proud of it. So I just want to assure all of the audience, all of the fans, that we're going to be doing the best that we possibly can.
Somebody's asked, can I buy more than one book?
Oh, absolutely! You can buy 100. Please do. Yeah, the more the better. And obviously, there will be it'll be a less amount of money, although I can't quantify what that will be. But it should be a little bit less money if you put 2 books or 3 books into the post. And if there is a saving, then that will be reflected. I'll look into that, but that's a good question.
Yeah, someone else kind of following on from that has asked how shipping to other country works and what the cost is outside the UK.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. In fact, shipping to Europe is £7, and shipping outside to the rest of the world is £9. Again, that is clarified on the Kickstarter, but again, we are setting that up tomorrow. So hopefully by tomorrow evening, everything will be there with more clarification.
Now, obviously, one of the pledges includes the Everybody's Girlfriend CD. A couple of people have been asking, what are the contents of the CD? What kind of music is on there?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and it's very difficult to answer in a vocal way, because essentially what it is, it's all real live music. There's no computer generated music. There is a lot of that around, of course, and Amir in particular is very famous for it. But this is actual real musicians and a variety of musicians singing and playing different instruments. The thing about it is that we had in our studio an Amiga 4000 was the heart of our studio, running all of the equipment. And the idea was that the only thing that we knew about our audience when we produced the album was that they owned an Amiga. We knew that they were all different ages, and so what we've done, and I believe we've definitely succeeded, is that we've got music of all different genres on there, something to suit everybody. There's a real bluesy track, which is Everybody's Girlfriend Blues. There's almost hip hop type stuff, and there's also a flamenco track, which is something that I'm actually playing. For those people who don't know that, I used to be a professional flamenco guitarist, so there's one of those tracks on there. There's a track on there, a song that I wrote the lyrics and the music for, but I'm not actually playing on it. Other musicians are, but in fact, my son, who was 15 at the time, is playing the lead electric guitar break in the middle eight of the song. So there's a whole variety of stuff on there, and I'm sure people are going to enjoy it because it is so varied.
And it was made as a tribute to the Amiga, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It was the whole idea was to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Amiga, in fact. So that was done in 1995. And as we all know, the Amiga was first launched in 1985. So yeah, the whole thing is done as a tribute to the Amiga. And in fact, that particular track, the one that I play, it's called Para Mi Amiga, and that was a homage to Jay Miner, who was the father of the Amiga. He was the guy who originally came up with the design of the Amiga. Sadly, he's passed over now, and that's why I wrote that piece for him as a homage to him.
And for people that might not know about your musical background, I mean, you were kind enough to show me through your scrapbook. There are some amazing snaps of you in the 70s.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure I've shown you those, but no, actually, to be honest, some of those pictures are going to appear in the book because at the end of the day, it's all part of my history, and I'm proud of what I did. I mean, I was on television in Australia. I actually won the Australian version of New Faces in one year, and yeah, I'm proud of it, and why not? At the end of the day, we're only on this earth for one limited amount of time, and I think we all have to fill it as best we can, and I'm happy with what I've delivered so far.
Well, speaking of what else is in the book, some people have been asking who's involved in writing. So we did mention there will be contributions from other people that were involved in Commodore's history.
Yes, indeed. I can confirm that we have Gail Wellington. Now, a lot of people will not know Gail, but Gail was a very integral part of Commodore. She originated at Commodore US, was moved to Commodore when we moved to Cork. That would have been, I think, 1984-ish. When she first came over, she was involved in all the software. But then, when we launched the Amiga in '85, she was head of CATS, Commodore Amiga Technical Support, and so she got involved with many of the developers, the games developers around the UK, and so she was fundamental in seeding the relationship that we ended up getting so well with the games publishers in the UK, which set us apart from all the other Commodore subsidiaries around the world, and in a way led to us being able to do things like the Batman pack and stuff like that because of the relationship that we had. So Gail is writing a chapter from her perspective, and I'm really looking forward to that. I have no idea what she's going to write, which I think is fantastic. That's the way it should be, and I have no intention of editing it. It's going to be from her perspective. Also, we've got a chapter on the Amiga A1500, which was the brainchild of Kieran Sumner, who was my commercial manager at the time. And I was actually not involved in that because I just literally moved over to Switzerland when that was released. And of course, before I came back from Switzerland, I was only involved in consumer products, and the Amiga 1000 and above was not in my range. So I wasn't involved in that. So I do not even know today the rationale behind the Amiga 1500, but he does because he did it. And so he's going to be telling everybody why he did that. And as I understand it, it was a pretty successful move. So that should be interesting. Again, I've not seen it, and I think that's the great thing about this sort of thing. I am hoping that there will be other people involved. Unfortunately, right at this second, I cannot 100% confirm, but I have been speaking with Dave Haney, who I think most of the people who are listening to this will know Dave Haney, a very major figure in the Amiga and Commodore world, a close friend of mine too. And I've also actually asked R.J. Michael if he would kindly contribute something, and I'm just waiting for an answer back from him. Both of those guys are extremely busy, as one can imagine. So I think that is the only reticence that they have. But trust me, I'm going to be doing everything I possibly can to get those guys to contribute. And as soon as I can confirm it, then I will. But I cannot promise it, so please don't hold that against me if it doesn't come to fruition.
But there is going to be some, really interesting stories, and I think it's good as well that you kind of got a rounded view of the company. It's not just all from you, is it?
Well, no, exactly. I mean, the whole point of this book is that this is the first time that somebody from the inside is telling the whole truth. So if I can get other people from inside Commodore to add their parts to it, parts that I wasn't even necessarily involved in, but very important, integral parts of the history of the rise and fall of the company, then that's what I'm intending to do. And now that, I mean, it's only in the last, as you know, in the last 19 days that we know that this is definitely a goer. It is definitely going to happen. So that's why I am now in the process of getting the confirmations from these people that they are able to contribute. I wished I was going to be able to say today, yes, R.J. Michael, yes, Dave Haney. I believe that they will, but I just can't promise because it's just a little bit too early. But trust me, everybody, I'm doing my best to make this happen.
Well, thank you for the update, David, and we'll do another one next week.
Yeah, indeed. Why not? Let's do that.
So if you've got any questions you would like answered in next week's video, just leave them in the comments, and we'll do it again next Friday. We'll see you then.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys, and enjoy your weekend and the following week, and we'll see you again this time next week.